In the run-up to May 22nd, when we're getting Mandalorian and Grogu on the big screen, I am reviewing all of the Star Wars live-action content. I will be doing the sequel trilogy after the release, and then after that, I'll be doing a ranking of everything. This is my review for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi is a streaming mini-series on Disney Plus, set 10 years after the Jedi Order was purged during the events of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. The series follows surviving Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, who emerges from hiding to rescue the kidnapped Princess Leia from the Galactic Empire's Inquisitors. This brings Kenobi into conflict with his former apprentice Anakin Skywalker, now a Sith known as Darth Vader. Now, there is a lot of discourse over this show when this came out, and there still is. I just can't believe there's people that just absolutely straight up say this show is awful, and it's just crazy. Now, while there is some bad stuff, there really is some bad stuff in the show, then there's some smaller issues, but then there's some great stuff as well. First, we need to talk about Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's grown into this role. A fair bit of a hiatus between episode 3 and this, but I think he just steps back into the role with no problem whatsoever. The accent is there, the nuances of the character, from the way that he twiddles his moustache and his beard, the way he carries himself, the wisdom, but also in this, the trauma that has really weakened him since what he believes Anakin's death. He shut himself off from the Force to stay in hiding so that no one can sense his presence and the Inquisitors can't come after him. This is some of the best dialogue as well that Ewan McGregor has been handed as this character. Then we have young Leia, Vivian Blair. What an amazing young actress who completely embodies Princess Leia, in my opinion. Just the attitude, the bravery, the intelligence, it's all there. We get Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor. And while there is some design choices that could have been a bit different, his head was a bit too normal. Like, it needed to be longer. Like, you watch Rebels and obviously it's a cartoon and it's a bit skewered, but I do feel like his design was less imposing in this show. But he brought that character, and that was an amazing performance. We get Palpatine. Ian McDiarmid is a cameo. We get Vader from Hayden Christensen, and I just think he is brilliant in this. We have Hayden and Ewan at one point de-aged, a flashback. And it does look a bit weird because you can still tell they're older and they're de-aged, especially Ewan. There's some hairline stuff going on there. But it pulls at the heartstrings and the nostalgia strings. Moses Ingram as Reva, I thought she was great. Now, her story was really flawed. It had issues. But her performance was amazing, and I just think that she was kind of done dirty in this. Now, Kumail Ninjani, I probably completely butchered that, but he has been in some roles recently. We saw him in The Boys briefly as a cameo. He's in Fallout Season 2, and he's also in this. He plays a fake Jedi that's able to make some money by pretending that he has powers using magnets. Now, this could have been really cringe, but it worked. Joel Edgerton returns as Owen Lars for the brief moment he got to play that character in the prequels. Absolutely awesome here. Now, the defending of the homestead from Reva was stupid and dumb, and you think we're idiots? Like, that would not work. You're going against an Inquisitor with some blasters. Like, we've seen her cut off hands and limbs. We've seen how powerful she is. Yeah, I don't believe that bit. That's probably one of my least favourite parts of the entire show. We have a Liam Neeson cameo at the end of the show, right at the end as well. Very brief, but a nice touch. But the tone is just decent. It's dark and gritty. There's trauma involved. There's an emotional weight to the entire show. The colour palette is on point. Some great cinematography, and we need to talk about the music. The main theme for this show is a banger. Now, the story. There There's some good things, there's some bad things. It's a mixed bag in that respect. Leia not remembering this stuff, she's at that age where all this stuff around her is happening and it is very impressionable. You know, she gets the holster and that is able to sort of carry on with her character, but how she doesn't remember all this stuff is just a bit strange to me. Luke not remembering being chased by an Inquisitor. The lightsabers, they didn't work. They very much looked like fake lightsabers. Essentially like the one I've got. And the batteries died. Fuck. But it's essentially like this. You can see the blade as it hits, it has that wobble. It has a slight wobble effect that you know that we get in this kind of build. It's the cheapest looking lightsaber effect that I've seen in Star Wars, and even cheaper than the original trilogy, let's be fair. But when they took a shock, these lightsabers, they just had that wobble as if they were there was an actual lightsaber blade there. I have to say I loved the physical clones at the beginning and in the slight flashbacks that we have of the Jedi Temple during Order 66. Such a difference to those like CGI ones we had in the prequel trilogies. Just the way that even just light reflects off their armor just makes it look more natural. The same with the stormtroopers though, you know, just having the light work against their armor, having physical sets and less CGI, lots of practical effects. And more just general Inquisitor stuff in a live action format has been a real treat. But can anyone say that the best part is not that rematch? Like, that is an incredible rematch. Vader and Obi-Wan's dialogue, their exchange is haunting and emotional, a lot of weight to it. Revelations, you know, Obi-Wan saying that my friend is truly dead. The line from Vader, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. Like, that it's a gut punch. Another part I really liked was when Obi-Wan realized that he was still alive. When Reva is telling him when he's hiding that he's still alive. Just the emotional weight of that moment. There was lots of that. Just the whole Obi-Wan in hiding, saying that they lost, admitting defeat, seeing a clone trooper beg for change. You have like a real cyberpunk-esque street scene. You have a fair bit of underworld. Well, again, they don't go as deep as Andor did with the underworld stuff, but it's there. You have this interesting story with the Path, which is basically a smuggling system where they are able to get Jedis to safety. We see what the Inquisitors will do if they catch a Jedi. We see a Jedi strung up in Tatooine. And this show has stakes, and that's what's important. Now, admittedly, I think Reva should have been killed. Leaving her alive was quite dumb. I really like this show. I would love a season 2. We could dive into more of the Force and, you know, Obi-Wan sort of discovering new things about the Force through Qui-Gon, learning how to come back and learning of his importance in Luke's story as he grows older, maybe even foreseeing the moment that Vader strikes him down and knows that he has to become one with the Force and return to guide Luke. You could do some really funky Force stuff in a second season. You could then have Reva going back after Darth Vader for revenge. Maybe even Reva goes to Yoda at Dagobah because Obi-Wan's like, you need to talk to Yoda and learn something, like go and train to move back over to the light side, or you could do all of this kind of stuff. There's so much you can do moving on from this show. Have Luke encounter a dangerous situation that Obi-Wan has to get back involved with. We could use a season 2. We could even have more Clone Wars flashbacks with Obi-Wan in his armor. Like Ewan McGregor said, if he does come back, he wants to come back. He's even said he wants season 2 to happen and he wants to be in that armor. So that's really cool. I'd love to see that. I think the good outweighs the bad. I've rewatched this show more times than any other live action Star Wars TV show. It helps that it's shorter, but there doesn't seem to be as much filler. I just really enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you thought of Obi-Wan. I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you with the next one. Take care of yourselves.